So I'm just kind of gonna do this run through of Assassin's Creed, just to kind of get the UX down, get a feel of it. Yeah, I do like this little toggle in the middle. That's nice, a little reticle. Instead of having just these like highlighted and then you just click on the D-pad to go down, 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 to the right. This little reticle toggle in the middle was pretty nice, so that was a nice little touch. My name's Gabrielle Snowden, and I'm a UI UX designer, and I specialize in games. And I thought I would give Assassin's Creed just a little personal journey mapping through it today. Just kind of do like a run through, see how I feel things flow, make sure everything is kind of going in the correct direction. I've been playing this game for probably about a week or two now, maybe 2 weeks. And I'm really enjoying it. I think it's a great game. It's pretty self-explanatory. It's very intuitive. And I do like how information is delivered. So overall, I feel like this is a really great game. And when it comes to UX, it's pretty superior in that. So I also like right here, like on the wait screen, how this kind of giving you little tips instead of telling you while you're playing the game. I mean, I think these might pop up in game, and I might have just glanced over, but I do like how it's right here on the left-hand side. It kind of gives me something to do, and if I don't want to read it, whatever. But if you want to check them out, they're pretty helpful. And I do also like how I can like cycle through them as well. Maybe like something went by and I wasn't done reading, I could just go back to it and check it out, so it's pretty nice. Also too, the UI on that's pretty good. That pretty classical yellow that says party time, like that works on a lot of backgrounds, so that's keeping with the same theme that I've seen throughout the game of the UI system, where the yellow and the white for subtitles and stuff. So when we first look at this, you can pretty much, it's self-explanatory, right? So up on the left-hand side, you have Escape from Athens. That's most likely going to be our quest. And then meet Phidias at night at the port of Pygianas. And that's probably, yeah, you can probably refer to that and say, oh, well, that's where I got to go. And then up at the top, you do kind of have like this navigator that will tell you where your boat is at all times. Maybe that's like a hut right there that I could go and maybe attack at. There's one of those fast travel points. Maybe that's like another port. I don't really know what that is. Maybe that's a battle. But these icons are pretty intuitive and pretty self-explanatory, where you're not constantly having to go back and say, okay, well, what does this icon mean? What does this icon mean? You know, you can infer that this is your ship and it's yellow and it's different from the other ship, which is just a white, so you're thinking it's probably a dock, so that was pretty clever of them. And then also keeping with that same UI with the yellow text, and it kind of has like a black bolding around it, or maybe has some bottom shadowing to kind of lift it off the screen. And so that's going to really work with a lot of different environments and backgrounds, because as you're running through this game, you're going to find that there are a lot of different types of environments. Even right now, we kind of see on the left-hand side, we can run over here, and then it works pretty well with the blue sky. You can really see that yellow coming through. And then if I'm looking at the ground and it's kind of clashing with that white, it works really well. So I guess the only time it would get lost would be, you know, maybe if there's like a lot of white or something. But as of right now, that yellow and white on the left-hand side is working really well with this game. So very pleased with that UI element. Another UI element that I find is really nice is the little icon and then the 23, 22 meters, or however it's counting it, I've kind of run into a snag, into an error. Oh, that was the last game. Maybe that was a glitch. So I went to go meditate on the last game, and it kept saying that I couldn't do it because I was being investigated. Not too sure what that was about, but that was just kind of like a game mechanic.
Good. You made it. I was beginning to worry.
I told you I'd get you out of Athens.
So you did.
So, subtitling has always been a common issue when it comes to games. And I think it has to do that when you have so many characters speaking at once, you're really having to keep track of the name. And what's going on that's really good in this game is that you're not having... I have never really encountered a conversation between my character Cassandra and maybe another off character. I've never encountered a conversation where there was more than 2 or 3 people talking at one time. And I think they do a really good job in that, because when there is too many characters speaking at one time, the user can really get lost in the conversation. Especially when you have 4 characters talking, and really you've only paid attention to maybe your own character's name. I don't know this man's name, although it said it, I don't really know it, and if there were maybe 3 other people in this conversation, I wouldn't really know who's saying what, so I would definitely be getting lost. So Assassin's Creed has definitely done well in keeping that conversation limited to about 2 to 3 people at a time, and then having the name boldly. I think they have about, I would say like maybe an 18 font on the name, and then a 14 to 16 font on the actual conversational subtitles. So I feel like that was a really good way of doing it. Because I know a lot of the conversation is maybe the name should be a little more bold, and then have that a different color than the conversation. I actually watched a talk on that, and it was a UX conference, and they were talking about subtitling and how that's definitely evolved over time to make it easier for the user just to catch. So we also have this one. This is really nice. First of all, you have the you have your options, right? Who's this friend we're meeting? And then at the bottom, let's go. And then you have a little door symbol with an arrow on it. So you can kind of be like, well, let's go. First of all, it's telling you 2 things. It's having you an icon with a door. That's a way out of the conversation. And let's go is highlighted in yellow. So that's kind of like a larger action than who is the friend we're meeting.
Can your friend be trusted?
Theras and I have been friends for a long time. I just sent word telling him where to meet us.
So now that that question has already been asked, I mean, we probably can click on this and do it again, but who really wants to do that? So we're just going to say let's go.
Wasting time will only get us into trouble. Let's head to Serifos while we still can.
Loading. And of course we have our little symbol in the bottom left corner to tell us that we're loading. Next cutscene. So now on our top left corner we have updated our mission quest, and you can kind of tell that the lower font and not as important is going to stay consistent. Escape from Athens, and then below that you have the escort Phidias to the island of Sephoros, and that is in yellow, a little bit bolded because that's kind of initiating an action saying this is what you're doing. I'm really starting to feel that a good concept of it is that when it's in yellow, it's an action that should be done at that time, at that moment in time. So you have your escort Phidias, which is in yellow, and then you also have your little icon over there, that little yellow icon, which is also in yellow, and then the get out of the conversation subtitles were bolded in yellow, stuff like that. So here we go. So this is a UI pause. This is what we do in games when we're trying to teach someone how to play a specific role. And this is just pausing the game and saying, alright, this is what's going to happen. So let's look at it for a second. I do like how this is done. They kind of have a div that's been pushed out on the right hand side. It's blue and it's a little transparent in the back, so it kind of flushes well with the rest of the screen. Then they have a little image up there kind of showing you what's going to happen, right? And you can see on there, well, there are my archers on the left and there are the spears on the right, and There's my speed and my ship's capabilities, whatever. So it's a nice little image. We've all been through these ship battles. We know what that looks like. Then you go down, fire braziers. Then you go down again. Upgrading the brazen has unlocked powerful fire attacks on the ship. Oh, I think I unlocked them when I was upgrading my ship. So now we have another yellow. So yellow is an action word. So build up firepower with regular attacks and use it to, once again, another action word, unleash fire attacks and the fire arrows. And this is L1 plus R1. And then you can do the javelins, which is just an R1. So.
Welcome back. Where shall we go?
So now we have our little marker, which is off on the left right now, kind of telling us where to go. Salvage, nice. I like how they did that. They kind of indicate where that salvage is at.
I never thought we'd have to good.
I've left places I've called home.
You're quiet tonight, Barnabas.
Sorry. Years ago, on a bright night like this one, my old friend Taros and I were sailing to Samos. When we heard our names being sung out in the middle of the darkness, the song was so sweet, we forgot how to sail.
Hopefully, they come.
Let's see how well I do. I don't know, do I really want to fight right now? Maybe not. Although I do like the battles, I kind of want to get on with the game since I'm doing that. Pretty self-explanatory how to do everything though. Before I was doing UI UX, I was in modeling and game design. I was doing 3D modeling. And this world is just stunning. Like, I really can't. Yeah. The world is stunning. The world is just absolutely beautiful.
This is a nice ship.
You don't have to do that.
Do what?
Fill the silence.
Oh, I wasn't trying to do that at all. I simply don't find myself traveling the seas very often.
It can be free.
Yes, freeing seems to be an accurate word. Although I've begun to feel a bit sick.
Lean over the side if you need to. Otherwise, you're too late.
So there we go. We have our new location, shipwreck. It's possibly another quest that we could have taken on. So let's try to find any ports that might be by. So we're going to look for a port because I think this is where we're docking. I think a little function that I would have liked, but also is pretty intuitive, probably didn't really need to happen, is...
Crew to battle stations!
Be serious? Another one? Alright, let's just try it out. Ready?
Shoot when ready!
We're getting in position!
Slow down!
See, I love ramming the flow. Oh, I missed it.
Micah, you think we can handle all of them? We're about to lose!
Get ready to fire!
And healing up the llamas!
Now!
Get ready to fire! They're firing on
Head
us!
for over water!
These, like, ship games have given me, like, made
Ready
me
to shoot!
We'll need a careful step to handle all of them!
practice a little bit.
We're ready to move!
Speed up!
We need to let the oars rest, Commander! Commander, we need to brace for tempest.
But anyway, that's just my quick little review on the Assassin's Creed in gameplay. So let's talk about their user dashboards. This is very complicated. but there's a lot of information, but I feel like it's done really well. So first, let's talk about these top little toggles up here. We have map, quests, inventory, abilities, ship, mercenaries, and cultists. So the L1, you can go to the left, and R1, you can go to the right. Below that, you can see how much coin you have, how those Oberon coins you have. Fur, looks like metal, wood, tablets, and those 2 stones down there. You can also see your, level and where you're at, like how close you are before you start leveling up again. Also to the right on the D-pad, you can go to the store. Below that, you still have your quests and your active quest. So this is the map page. It's a pretty large map. I do like how when you're moving this toggle around, it'll kind of gravitate towards the important parts on the map. It's not like I'm going here and being like, oh, what's this? It'll kind of like roll me to where I've been, you know. So that's kind of handy, because I don't want to, you know, be like, oh, like tap, 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 tap to get somewhere. Like it just kind of has a little magnetic pull. So I really do like that. That makes it kind of easier. At the bottom right here, you have map, set marker, legend, and reset. Those were a little difficult to see because, you know, those can really get lost, like, right in here, you know. I mean, I really can't see them too well. But I do understand there's a lot of colors going on over here, and that white is probably the best color they could have chosen for it. L2, you can check out their gameplay icons. You know, you can kind of see that. And then R2, you can check out your photos. I do think that this part where it says Botia and the ruins of Flatina and the Spartan leadership Elasos and the Hydra's head, it says that it's fortified right now, and I do like how that's there. I feel like maybe that could have been placed a little better. There's something about it that I'm just not loving. I think there's maybe it's blending in a little too much. There's something about it where I really wish it was I don't know, maybe I wish that could have been a little thought out a little better. I don't know why. Let's go over to the quest area. The quests are really easy to go through. You have your Odysseys, and it tells you exactly. Displays your Odyssey quests. And then this one displays only quests from people you've met in the world who are asking for help. And then your bounties, you know, it tells you exactly what these are. And I really like that. Let's keep going down. So we can go down here, and then you can see right here, this is your Odyssey. This is your main quest, you know, and then you have your more Odyssey quests, and then right here, boom, world. And then characters, and then contracts. I do feel like contracts, character, world, and Odyssey, I really feel like maybe this right here was a little bigger of a display. Maybe this was a little easier to see. I really didn't catch it at first. I was honestly thought I just had to like click this and go to the Odyssey part and go to the world part. You know, so I didn't really see those. I really did glance over it. I do like right here that you don't have to go into a quest, like a new quest box or quest page and find it and then go back. You can just hover over, and when it hovers, it'll show you like what that little command is. Also, this is a nice little thing right here. As I like move that toggle around, like so does that page. It just kind of follows a little bit. It's just nice. It's just clean and it looks good. It's just a little detail, you know, that I guess most people probably wouldn't catch, but it's kind of nice. It like rolls well. You know what I mean? When you're going through it, it rolls nicely. Instead of just boom doing it and it's right there in the middle, it kind of like moves with your toggle. So I do enjoy that part. Inventory I've always found to be a little challenging, but you know, it's doing a great job. I love it. Obviously I'm not like a great player, but but yeah, I mean, I like how all these are set up. I think it's very intuitive. It's very easy to get through. Overall, good job. Also, too, this abilities is very intuitive, very easy. The icons are very self-explanatory. This bull rush right here, I'm guessing that's healing, you know, fire, and I mean, I don't know, these icons are just very intuitive. I like what they did with it. I guess the only thing is the spear. Yeah, the spear of Leonidas. That one, to upgrade that spear, I feel like it should have been a little easier. I don't know, that could just be me. I feel like the whole scene where it took you through, I'm not gonna like spoil anything, but there was a big scene that kind of told you how to upgrade the spear, what the spear was all about, and how it pertained to the story. But I don't know, I didn't really catch on how to upgrade it. The only reason why I know is because my boyfriend is playing the game, and he told me, like, oh, have you upgraded your spear yet? And I was just thinking, no, am I supposed to? And, you know, so I feel like that, it's supposed to be a really important part of the game, and I feel like that was a little lackluster. Like, I don't really care about that spear as much as I should. That's the only thing. I feel like there should be something in here. Maybe another little toggle or abilities part. Can I click on it? No. Maybe if like I clicked on the spear and it kind of sent me to another page and kind of was explaining the spear and what I needed to upgrade it and how I needed to get there and what it was going to do for me, instead of saying next level 7% health gain. Like, maybe if they made this a little more important, but I don't know how important the spear is supposed to be in the game. I mean, upgrading your ship, very easy. I like these little progress bars they have on here. Very helpful. You know, they're not treating you like you don't know what you're doing. But they are, you know, making it very easy for you to figure out, like, okay, gotcha. So, ship health, ship damage, fire, ramming damage, all this right here. I guess I really don't look at this and care too much about it, but that's just how I play. I'm like a very visual person. Too many numbers definitely make me feel like it's too overcomplicated, but I don't feel like this looks overcomplicated. I feel like some people are really going to appreciate that down there, and maybe if there's like a ranking or something system down here, like, oh, your ship is like a rank, you know, 12 right now, and to get it up here, you'd have to upgrade this and upgrade that, and then it'd be rank 13, and you could take on these ships with ease. That might have been a little better, rather than ramming damage about 43,000, or javelin damage 42,000, stuff like that. So, maybe that's just me. I'm not really caring about those numbers down there. I don't know if anyone else is either, but I don't know. And we'll go on to the mercenaries. The tiers, I felt like were a nice little touch. Yeah, let's see. So all these guys are here. So the tiers are a nice little touch. I like this. I like how I can click on them, zoom in, they tell me about them. You know, what does this mean? And I like hover over it, and it tells me a little more. It takes more damage from poison. That's good. So I can like, I didn't even notice this before, but that's a really great little UX thing, you know. I can really see someone being given this project and saying, okay, you're working on the mercenaries, and we want to find some intuitive things to help our player take on these mercenaries. So I would say, okay, well, when you click on it, I want to first give them their badge up here and show their rank. Give them their name up here and maybe like, I don't know, 24 font or whatever you want to call that. And then I want to give them a little thing about himself. Brezis calls herself, this is a woman? Stop it. This is not a woman. Hades' beloved, and believed she'd earned his favor by sitting... Oh, I'm so sorry. Sling throws. She delivered hundreds of subjects to the underworld kingdom, always claiming it was all for him. So, I don't think this is a woman. This can't be a woman. That's not a woman. I don't know. Maybe I stayed up too late last night and I'm reading this incorrectly, but whatever. So I really like this little thing right here. This kind of gives you a hint on how to fight this mercenary in particular. I really enjoy that aspect of it, because you want to customize the way you fight, and that's what makes these new games so great and so unique. Is the customization of your character and the way you fight, depending on where you are. And there's even certain places you can go into, castles you can go into, and you need to have a certain fighting style. Like, I need to be more stealthy over here. Let's go to this woman. Let's see. Takes less damage from assassination, so I know I'm gonna have to be more of a brute force fighter with her. And she does take damage from fire, so maybe I need to equip myself with some fire arrows right here. Takes less damage from poison. I don't really need to care about my poison arrows, so like that. So these tiers are pretty good. So this is what I didn't understand at first when I saw that little Colosseum on top. I was like, what does that mean? And quickly learned, hello, I'm gonna find this character in a Colosseum. Oh my goodness. So you wanna go fight that guy, you gotta go to the Colosseum. Wait, we're going back. Our last but not least is our cultist map. This map, when I first looked at it, I freaked out. I was like, oh my gosh, so much information, what's happening? And then once I relaxed myself and I went through it, it's super easy. This is just showing you all the cultists that are around, and then this one is like, oh look, they're red, they're defeated, and they're not red, and they're undefeated. Let's see. Yeah, and right here, clues. I don't have any clues for him, so I can't unmask him just yet. No one is ready to be unmasked. I unmasked them all the other day. These are just really easy to go through. This kind of shows you what the rewards you're going to get. So these artifact fragments, these are for your Sword of Leonidas, if I'm not mistaken. And I feel like, although I really don't like games that I don't really like games where they give you too much information at once, or they over-explain, they mansplain it to you. But sometimes we need to be explain things like a child, So. But anyway, that's it, guys, for this UX tutorial. I was just kind of going over what I felt could be improved on in the game and what I like about it, and on the UI UX standpoint. So thank you so much for going through this quick little journey map with me. I'm definitely going to refer to this when I get back and start working on a little personal project of mine, maybe updating this game where I feel like could really help players and ultimately make it extremely immersive, extremely self-explanatory game. And very user-centered and user-friendly, and yeah, I guess that's about it. So thank you so much for chiming in if you did, and if not, well, whatever, it's for my own personal use. So anyway, thanks guys. I guess I'll see you on the next one, if I do another one. I don't know if I will. Whatever. Alright, bye.